Hello everybody and welcome to the Mongoolie Gaming Show. Today we're going to be taking a look at Super Skrull and his entire kit and how good it is. We're going to be looking at how to unlock Cosmo free to play and what we can be doing towards earning Korg over the month-long event right after this. Alright, so first off, we're going to be looking at the actual Dark Dimension 6. There is some first-time clear events for the very first person who gets to go through it, but essentially what you need to know is if you are the very first person, you get to get a 7 red star of any character you want, almost. There's a little bit of an eligibility list there. But you will also get to choose a character that the rest of us will get nice promotional stuff for. So whoever it is, I hope they choose well for us. I hope they're good to us. Last time, Tadano Mac, when he got the Apocalypse 7 red stars, or 7 star, that did give us, I believe it was Agent Venom or Dark Beast. It was definitely Agent Venom. I don't remember the second character. As well as there was some Blitz event for Dark Beast. So that did help out, and that was nice. But I don't think I'm going to be getting this character at all for a while, let alone be the first one to do it, so be it. The missions, mission 1 through 2, there's going to be no restrictions whatsoever. You just need to have gear tier 18, as you will for all of these. After that, it's the basic global, cosmic, city, and then legendary. We've seen this before. But the problem is the legendary, they cannot be horsemen, which are some of the best legendaries in the game. And this feels oddly restrictive. Almost like they're punishing us because they know that we're going to have our horsemen at level 16 or 17, depending on which apocalypse you've got or you're going for. So the fact that they're going to say, no, you cannot use those characters, like you're going to have to get, I don't know, Magneto up that high? Like, no, he's a horseman, never mind. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's just a horseman team. So, like, your Magneto, your Jubilee, like, bad characters that aren't nearly in the meta anymore. You're going to need to force them to get up to level 18. Not a fan of that. And then the very last one is Legendary or Apocalypse. Because for some reason, Apocalypse isn't a legendary character. Don't understand it, but so be it. Now, as far as the Super Skrull himself, if you complete one run, that's going to give you your 5 yellow stars and 2 red stars, and your second run will be 7 yellow stars and 4 red stars. This is the same as all the other Dark Dimensions. There's nothing really new here, I just wanted to say it. As for his kit, there's a new mechanic called Exposed. It is not a positive or a negative, you either have it or you don't. It's kind of like Charged, if you want to think of it that way. As of right now, Super Skrull is the only character that gives it out, but there is another character planned. So there will be 2, but they haven't announced who the second character is yet. But multiple characters can benefit from an enemy having Exposed. Super Skrull himself is going to be a villain, cosmic bio brawler. His basic attack is the Skull Barrage. If the primary target has Exposed, clear all barrier on the target. Attack primary target for 400% piercing and chain up to 3 different targets for 307% piercing. Flip 3 positive effects into negative effects on each target. That's huge when you're hitting 4 different targets. Gain defense up for 2 turns, safeguard for 2 turns, and bury yourself for 10% of his character's max health. Also incredible. One of the things you're going to see with this character over and over again is that he cares if he's got 2 villains and he cares if he has 2 allies. So if you make your team properly, you're going to get a lot of additional bonuses. Now what I really like about this is it just says heroes and villains. There's not a Fantastic Four hero or a Masters of Evil villain. It looks like this is going to be a plug and play character, and there's stipulations like you want 2 villains and 2 heroes, but other than that, do whatever you got to do. Choose whatever heroes and villains you want, which is pretty great. So anyways, 2 villains, you ignore defense up. 2 heroes, apply disrupted to each target. This is the basic attack. This is really good. This attack can chain to stealth targets, and counterattack breaks the chain. This is pretty basic. We see this a lot. This attack gains 200% extra focus and is unavoidable. You're going to notice that a lot with this character. He is going to hit whenever he tries to hit. As far as his ISO 8 counterattacks and assists, it's all pretty much the same, but just a little bit worse. It's 300 instead of 400. It's 200% of focus, but it's not unavoidable. Little twinges like that, but it's still pretty good as far as an assist goes. His special is called Bending Flames. It's going to cost 3 energy, and you're going to start with enough energy to do it right away. With only costing 3 energy, you're going to be doing this quite a bit in the battle, so that's really good, because this is an insane attack. Attack primary target for 450% damage and apply Exposed. Exposed is going to be one of those mechanics you're going to need for yourself, but it also benefits the rest of your team, and we'll get into that later. If you got 2 or more hero allies, apply ability block for 2 turns to the primary target. And if you have 2 villain allies, reduce it by an additional 40%. Anytime you can reduce their speed bar or increase your speed bar, it's good. And by 60% is insane. Clear stealth on all enemies, gain the following positive effects. 2 defense up for a maximum of 5, 2 offense up for a maximum of 5, 3 deflect, immunity for 2 turns, and gain stealth. This attack gains 500% extra focus, cannot be blocked, dodged, or counterattacked, and it only costs 3 energy. So as I said, you're going to do this multiple times. This is insane. This is such a good attack. Ultimate, Psionic Supernova. It costs 3 of 6, so you can't do it right away, and you're probably going to do it once, maybe twice in a battle. Apply trauma for 2 turns to the primary target, starting off strong. Flip defense up on all enemies, meaning it's going to turn into defense down, also fantastic. Attack all enemies for 700% piercing, and apply heal block for 3 turns and offense down for 2 turns. This is insane. Like, this is really good. And it gets better. If you got 2 villains, this attack deals an additional 300% piercing, so 1000% piercing if you've got 2 villains. That's crazy. If you got 2 heroes, apply trauma 2 for 2 turns to all enemies. This attack is gross. Like, it is literally, like, it's an ultimate, so it's supposed to be, but, like, it really takes that seriously. Bury yourself and all allies for 30% of this character's max health, and this attack gains 1000% extra focus, is unavoidable, and cannot be blocked or counterattacked. This is the most bananas characters that we've seen in this game in a long time, if not ever. This is what Apocalypse's kit should have been. You know what I mean? Like, this is just dumb, and his passive is so silly. If you don't have this character, it's going to be tough for you. And quite frankly, when I'm saying that, I'm talking to myself. I'm not going to have this character for a while. Like, I've got maybe 5 level 17 characters. Not very many. I've got nobody anywhere close to 18. Like, this is just... I guess it's worth noting this is more for the whales. Like, if you're free to play, this is going to be a ways off for you. Like, months off for you. His passive, fantastic one. The first time this character falls under 50% health, clear all negative effects from this character and heal him for 50% health of this character's max health. Gain stealth. Right away, we're doing fantastic. While this character has stealth, allies gain 20% damage reduction. When an enemy gains a positive effect, or when this character or an ally gains a negative effect, heal self for 5% of this character's max health, heal this character's speed bar by 10%. That's insane. There's some characters who give themselves like 4 or 5 positive effects, and you're going to just heal that much and speed bar that much. And if that speed bar is cumulative, you're going to be taking a lot of turns. You're going to be taking a lot of turns. Lower armor for all enemies by 25%, just by having them on the battlefield. Gain 50% max health, allies gain 25% max health. Gain 10% damage and focus, 10% for each hero ally to a maximum of 50%. 10% armor and resistance, 10% for each villain ally up to a maximum of 50%. Enemies with exposed cannot gain safeguard, deflect, or evade. This does not prevent prolonging or duration of effects already on the target. So you've already got safeguard, you can make your safeguard last longer, but you can't gain safeguard if you got exposed. When an enemy is with exposed is attacked, so this is what I was talking about, this character attacks all enemies for 5% of this character's max health, and barrier this character for 5% of this character's max health. When an enemy is exposed is attacked, it is not by you. If you give exposed to an enemy and anybody on your team attacks them, you're going to go and do this. In fact, in theory, you could expose an enemy and then do like Hella so that your enemies attack themselves, and that would also trigger this, which is kind of stupid, but really cool. So that's Super Skrull. I think he's crazy. I think he's going to be so good in this game, but I think he's going to be months away for most of us, the average free-to-play player. If you're spending money on this game, then you can have this character a lot sooner, and I'm not going to lie, I'm a little tempted, but I just think it's going to cost so much money to get this character quickly that it's prohibitive. If it was, like, even if it was something like $100, I would probably drop that on this character because I think he's going to be that impactful. But quite frankly, to get that many characters up to be able to do all of these nodes effectively, it's going to be thousands of dollars. I think. I don't know. I don't spend that much money. But, like, that's a lot of characters you're going to need to level up. And level up to a very high level. Like, wow. Alright, let's move on. So the Cosmo free-to-play event is going to be one of those, what are they called? The event campaign missions. So you're going to have all those campaigns. Historically, there have been 3 different difficulties. When you do a higher difficulty, it unlocks the lower difficulties, and you can core to go through more of them. The difference with this is usually those events last for 2 weeks. This one is only going to be 1 week. It's only 7 days. But they do say the first time rewards, gold, gear node rewards, and the related intergalactic orb items have increased. So it's less time that you can play this, but the rewards are better. Now the problem with that is you can only core so much in 1 day before it becomes really prohibitively expensive. So having 14 days to core, you could spend maybe 200 cores a day and get pretty good rewards. Well, now if you only have 7 days to do that, you're going to want to be coring more, but the coring will also cost more cores, so they're going to kind of bleed you a little bit on this. They do say that this is to help streamline the experience and provide a more rewarding and focused daily experience. Sure, I don't 100% know what that means, but I feel like it's going to just bleed your cores if you want to get a high level Cosmo. I don't think it's necessarily the worst thing in the world, but anyways, so you're going to get intergalactic orbs. It is worth noting you have to use intergalactic characters, so let's go take a quick look at who those intergalactic characters are. Okay, so there's 20 different characters that you're going to have access to, but one of them is Cosmo, so you're probably going to have access to 19 characters. There's some really heavy hitters on this team, so I'm not too worried about being able to actually unlock it. Characters like Hela, even Gamora, She-Hulk, and Abomination, like you should have some of these characters up pretty high. Miss Marvel's really good. You do have a couple of Asgardians in Valkyrie and Mighty Thor. You've got most of the Guardians team. For some reason, Drax didn't make the cut, and I'm not really sure why that is. You do have some Inhumans, some Kree, Mr. Fantastic, Adam Warlock. I haven't put much energy in, literally anything into, but if you have, he's a really good character for this as well. So I don't foresee the nodes being a problem. You've got access to enough characters. You should have some of them leveled up pretty highly. So it should be very doable. All right. So the event that's going to be running alongside that is called the Riffs. And what you're going to be doing, this all starts, the event above as well as this one both start on Tuesday, June 6th. What you're going to be doing is opening gold orbs and opening intergalactic orbs. Now, I'm not going to do the math on how many intergalactic orbs you're going to need to open because that's kind of on you and how much you're willing to play that event and how much you're willing to core for that event. But for 3,000 points for intergalactic orb, they are going to be incredibly useful, and I'm going to be working towards a bunch of them. As far as the gold orbs go, there have been too many events recently, so I only have like 20 gold orbs or something, like not nearly enough to complete this event. If you want to get down to level 24, milestone 24, 180,000 points, that's going to be your ghost stompers. If you do get down that far, that's going to be 110,000 points towards the main event. You will also get character shards for some really boring characters that are incredibly farmable. But there's some augmented gear, there's some Armory 16 and 17 stuff, so there are some decent rewards if you get down low enough, but the character shards are all kind of awful. If you want to do this entirely with gold orbs, it's going to cost you 90 gold orbs to get all the way down to that level. But thankfully, there is a milestone event happening at the same time. Sorry, a web milestone event. So if you earn Blitz credits, you can get up to, I think it's 70,000 of these Riff points towards that main event, meaning you only have to open 55 gold orbs if you don't open a single intergalactic orb, which does help. There are 3 gold orbs here, so that will work towards that, but that's not a whole bunch, obviously. For Blitz credits, I generally say you're going to get about 15 per battle. If that's the case, you're going to need to do roughly 6 rotations a day for the 7 days that this event is happening to get all the way to the bottom. There are jackpots where you can get like 1,000 or something like that, so that will obviously help out that math. But assuming your luck isn't very good and you're getting the 10 to 15 range, consider doing about 6 rotations a day. Spoils of War starts on Monday. It is a 7-day event that is alliance-wide and rewards you for playing in war. You do not have to win, mind you. You just need to play. So, if you're an alliance with 24 members and every single one of them does 10 battles per war for the 3 wars over the course of 7 days, that's your points. The math actually works out perfectly so that is 72,000 points on the dot, which will give you 36,000 rock concert tickets, as well as some like basic orbs and level 4 ions and such as that. The rock concert tickets, what you're working towards, you want to unlock your Korg. So everybody in your alliance has to do 10 battles per war, 3 wars, Pretty simple stuff if you're in a full alliance. If you're not in a full alliance, this is going to be much tougher for you. You're going to have to do extra battles to make it all the way to the bottom, or just accept the fact that you're not going to make it to the bottom. Star-Lord Annihilation is coming to the game on Thursday. If you want to spend 675 power cores, you can get an orb to try and unlock him. You can also spend actual money to unlock this character, and if you do, you're going to have access to offers that the rest of us don't have. You'll also have access on Thursday to get the Red Star orbs for Star-Lord Annihilation, where he will have a place of prominence, so you're more likely to get him. The next Rumble Blitz event is the Monster Mash, and it features the Dark Hunters, which is a team that I 100% skipped. I saw no value in them, and I just left them alone, and I don't feel bad about it. But if you have them and you want to get this, it's just a Blitz event. It happens on Friday. It happens every Friday. The Strike Pass. I had to read this one a couple of times. It's Gwenpool. For some reason, my brain just kept reading that as Spider-Gwen, and I was like, why? Who cares about Ghost Spider at this point? Other than the fact that the movie just came out, I couldn't figure it out. And then I woke up, I guess, and my brain was like, oh, Gwenpool, that's actually really good. Never mind, I take it all back. Gwenpool is coming to the Strike Pass. Fantastic. She's also going to come into the Elite store, but they don't tell us when, but just look for her in the near future. And as far as character availability goes, Firestar is coming to all the orbs you care about, and she's replacing Magic in the Mega Orb. This video should be coming out soon enough that you can still go to the web store and get your Cosmo shards, but don't wait for my videos, just go to the web store every day. There's always free offers there. Make sure you're rewarding yourself. Alright, and that's your update for the week. If you're a returning viewer, you probably noticed at the beginning of this episode I said Mongooli's Gaming Show and not the Mongooli Show. I'm going to be taking this channel, which started off as kind of a random crap shot of everything I liked to do, and focus it more on just gaming. Mostly Marvel Strike Force, maybe a little bit of Marvel Snap, and then I'm going to have another channel called Mongooli's Movie Show, where I'm going to be talking about movies and other things that I love, more pop culture related. If by chance the Venn diagram of who you are overlaps so that you like both of those topics, feel free to go to this channel, give it a like, give it a subscribe. It's only got the one video right now, which is my spoiler-free review of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. But there's going to be a spoiler review of that coming soon, and a whole bunch to talk about summer movies and things coming up. So if that interests you, please go ahead and give that video a like. Please go ahead and give that channel a subscribe. If this video was good for you, please consider giving this video a like and subscribe. Everything you can do helps me out. I really appreciate it. And if you want to have that other content, it's right over here. I'm going to put a link in the description below. Please check that out. I'm really looking forward to having an access point where I can talk about movies and TV shows and other things that are important to me other than just this game. But don't worry, this channel isn't going anywhere. It's going to be slightly rebranded, but it's going to be the same Marvel Strike Force content you've come to know and like. And if you want to see something different, feel free to leave a comment below. All right, have a good night, everybody. Cheers.